Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. Sorry, it's a little windy outside my window, so you might hear some, rattling here and there throughout the episode today. But today, like I said yesterday, this week, honestly, is going to be very heavily NBA, NFL based, NBA playoffs, and the NFL draft just happened. So we're going to keep talking about that as long as we can. But today's going to be the last day for that. Last day talking about the draft. Now going forward, it's going to be future, like how teams are going to do, all that stuff. So we're starting off with the NFL draft. We'll recap. We did yesterday like a first round recap. I'm going to do an overall like recap of the draft. Like, I don't know, kind of like surprises, I guess you could say, players who fell. After that, we're doing one segment of NFL. The rest are NBA. We're doing the NBA awards, players who are nominated for awards, players who've already won. Recap the two games from last night. Preview the four games for tonight. And then talk about Giannis and the Bucks. Just, what's happening next for him. Before we get to any of that, though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows that you guys care about the content that we're putting out, and we're putting out the best content that we possibly can. So if you do want to tip or donate and show your support and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream or want to tip or donate, feel free to do that with the two links in the bio and in the description of the GSMC, site. Even if you don't want to tip or donate, and show support, you can always do that by leaving a comment in the live stream comment section, YouTube comment section, anything. It really, being able to see you guys comment, leave, your own takes in the own comment section. It's really good to see. I love being able to talk to you guys. It really just helps me just become, more close with the viewers. I like being able to meet, know what you guys think about certain topics, and that's why I love doing what I do. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream to show your support, feel free to do so with the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, feel free to do that with the two links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into the first topic of the day, the NFL draft. The NFL draft concluded this weekend on Saturday. And yesterday, I basically did another recap. I kind of summed it all up, summarized what happened. Today, I'm going to be kind of doing more of just surprises throughout the draft. Players who fell, whole positions that were just entirely negated, anything like that. So I'm going to start it off by talking about... we'll do Shedeur Sanders first. Talk about Shedeur. I mean, he was possibly the biggest drop-off in a player in draft stock in NFL history, in draft history. A projected first-round pick dropping all the way to the fifth round is something you don't see, unless it's in movies. It's like a TV scene or a movie scene. You never see that. And still, nobody knows exactly why. People are speculating that it was because his interviews were so poor. People, that's a valid take for it. But one reason that I do believe he fell so far was because of the publicity that he would bring as a backup quarterback. No backup quarterback should be bringing in more publicity than their starter. And that is a reason that, teams may consider not drafting him. They don't want him to bring negative attention to the team or just, him be the main talking source of the team. If they're, let's say they're a good team, but the media is only covering him and not the team overall, why do you want to draft him? Why do you want him on your team when he's taking all the spotlight? And he fell so far, I think, a reason because of that. I think, teams didn't want that publicity. Teams didn't want him, taking up all the spotlight. And people also probably didn't want to deal with Deion Sanders because people think, he'd be really stingy. He'd be trying to get up close and personal with the organization that he's a part of, trying to, force ways to make Shedeur, like a starter, force his way into the program or whatever. And honestly, that's completely fair for why a team wouldn't want, Shedeur on their team. But it's definitely not because he didn't drop because, he's not a good football player. That's completely false. He was Big 12 Player of the Year, phenomenal player, one of the best quarterbacks, a top 3 quarterback in the draft this year. And he didn't fall because he wasn't good at football. He fell because publicity. That's my take on it, at least. Then you got, I'll talk about this first, the quarterbacks in general. The quarterbacks in this draft, very good quarterbacks. There's very good quarterbacks in this draft. Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, Kyle McCord. I mean, there's a million there's 11 quarterbacks, and I believe not 8 of them were taken. 7 of them were taken. and they're all good quarterbacks. But the problem is, some of the best ones fell to the 5th and 6th round, or like 4th, and you really didn't see that coming. I mean, you have obviously Cam Ward, number 1. He was obviously the number 1 quarterback in the draft, and he went number 1 to the Titans. That was kind of set in stone since the minute he finished his college football season, losing in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Set in stone, he's a Titan. The second quarterback off the board, Jackson Dart, Giants traded up, got him. It wasn't a bad take. Wasn't a bad take at all. I think, he's going to develop. He's going to have to develop because I don't know if he's exactly NFL ready yet, but he will be in time. And then the third quarterback off the board, who nobody saw going that early, was the kid out of Louisville, Tyler. Excuse me. Tyler Show, I can never say his last name. Definitely, I'm not going to hit on the guy because obviously he got drafted to an NFL team. But he definitely wasn't the caliber of quarterback you would see drafted in that early second round to the Saints, who are in desperate need of a quarterback. They have, Derek Carr just got hurt. Spencer Rattler, I mean, he's one of their backups. He's not he's not horrible, but, he's not going to lead the Saints to a playoff berth. I mean, there's just a very questionable decision there of why the Saints took him over a million other guys. Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, Kyle McCord, there's a million quarterbacks there's multiple other quarterbacks who were above him, who are honestly better players, but the Saints must have saw something in him to pick him up. And then after that, quarterbacks were kind of just non-existent for the next round or two. The next quarterback, the most notable one, was Will Howard out of Ohio State. Got picked up by Pittsburgh. Him and Jack Sawyer are paired up there in Pittsburgh. That's going to be Pittsburgh needed a quarterback, and I guess they see Will Howard fitting that system well, so they picked him up. And he's a great quarterback. Just won a national championship, brought Ohio State back to glory. He did lose to Michigan, which, is never, when they were 21-point favorites, 21.5, and they lost, which, he played horrible that game. He did. But then he went on to prove that I'm great. And he just pummeled his way to a national championship, brought another ring back to Ohio State since 2014 when, when it was still the 4 team, one of the first years in the playoffs. He fell pretty far. I thought he would be at least a 3rd round pick. But same with, Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers was a great quarterback. I don't think he was better than Will Howard, but he wasn't a bad quarterback. He did have injuries, he's suffering from injuries, but he's still a good quarterback nonetheless. And him falling all the way to the 6th round to the Miami Dolphins, who need a good backup quarterback for Tua because, Tua's injured. Tua's an injured person. He gets, concussions, what's happening with him. So they need a good backup quarterback. And the fact that he was able to fall that far and the Dolphins being able to pick him up, good for them. He's a good quarterback. He's going to do well. He's going to help. He's going to get developed behind Tua. And, the Dolphins tend to have decent quarterbacks. And I think he can develop really well there and step up when needed, especially if Tua gets injured again this season, which I hope not. Tua's a great quarterback, but I hope he doesn't get injured. But if he does, worst comes to worst, they got Quinn Ewers to back him up. And then Kyle McCord going to the Eagles in the 6th round as well. All these quarterbacks just fell so far. But I thought Kyle McCord was honestly going to be picked up earlier. I think Kyle McCord was definitely the most underrated quarterback in this draft class. Yeah, he did throw. He throws picks here and there, but he's still a great quarterback. He transferred out of Ohio State, went to Syracuse, and just dominated. He dominated Syracuse, great record. And honestly, I thought McCord could have been, sleeper, one of the earliest QB picks in the draft. I thought he could have gone at least 3rd or 4th round, but I was wrong. Unfortunately, I was wrong. But he's a great quarterback. I think he'll sit behind Jalen Hurts, and he will develop. Kyle McCord is a great quarterback. He's a great build for a quarterback. He's big. He's strong. He can throw far. Accurate, not, his accuracy isn't the best, but he still has a lot of potential to be a great quarterback, and he can learn a lot from Jalen Hurts. So that's what I'm going to talk about quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks, it's kind of dropped throughout the draft, and I thought a lot of them would be going a lot earlier. But another guy I want to talk about, it's not a quarterback, a cornerback this time, Will Johnson out of Michigan. Will Johnson was a projected top 10 pick, and he fell to the 2nd round. 2nd round's not bad at all. Being drafted in the 2nd round is, a team needs a cornerback, but they must have needed something a lot more, more notable than a cornerback at the time. And Will Johnson, obviously, phenomenal quarterback, phenomenal corner. His knee is his main concern. Teams were passing on him most likely due to his knee concerns. His knee kind of was like in shambles. It's not in a good spot right now, and it was he was out for the last few games of the season last year because of his knee, and teams are questioning his ability. If he still got it, and the Cardinals are willing to take that chance. And him paired up against his old rival at Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's going to be great one-on-ones at practice. Iron sharpens iron type of matchup. And that's going to be great for both of them. Going to help sharpen their... Marvin Harrison's already a phenomenal receiver, but having Will Johnson on him again in practice is going to make him even better because when their one-on-ones in the Ohio State-Michigan game were phenomenal. It was either catch or, it was either... There was no bad ball. It was either a catch or deflection. And it was a great one-on-one matchup. And I'm excited to see how they match up against in practice. Hopefully Will Johnson can stay healthy. One of the best cornerbacks in the draft, possibly the best cornerback in the draft, fell in the second round due to injuries. But that just shows how good he is, that a team is willing to risk it all on a cornerback who is so good even though he's injured. Just shows how good of a cornerback he is and how good of a player overall he is. That's all I got for this segment. And the NFL today. Next 4 segments talk about the NBA. Talk about the NBA awards, like MVP, sixth man, all that. Preview the games for tonight and, talk about the game, recap the games from last night, and then talk about Giannis and the Bucks after that. We'll get to all after the break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamber. First segment, we recapped the NFL draft, talked about some of the guys who fell, positions who fell, all that. This segment, like I said, we're talking about NBA awards, Sixth Man of the Year, MVP, DPOY, recap all that, players who've been picked who for already, awards given out, awards not given out yet. Excuse me. We'll talk about the NBA after this as well. Recap the games from last night, preview the games for tonight, and talk about Giannis and the Bucks. What's happening over there after that. But before we get to any of that, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows you guys care about the content that we're putting out, and we're putting out the best content that we possibly can. So if you do want to show your support for us, feel free to do that. If you're in the live stream, feel free to donate with the 2 links, or the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, feel free to do that with the 2 links in the bio and in the description. Even if you don't want to tip or donate, you still want to show support for us, you can always leave a comment. Leaving a comment in the live stream chat is the best way to do that. I'll see that right away. Answer your question as soon as you post it in. Or you can do it if you're watching the YouTube video or listening. You can also leave a comment in the comment section there. I'll see that after I upload it and get to it as soon as I can. But leaving a comment in the live stream is the best way to, get in contact with me if you want to just talk. So feel free to do that. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, feel free to do that with the 2 links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into topic number 2 for the day, the NBA awards. NBA awards, pass out every year, and there's always controversy. Not really controversy, but like, he should win this, he should win this, like all that. But this year, I feel like if you look at the candidates for each award that has already been given out or is already, going out soon, I feel you can kind of already tell who's going to win each. So we'll go down the list of just kind of, the main ones, starting at first, like MVP, Rookie of the Year, stuff like that, and go down from there. So the MVP is always, MVP, most valuable player. So who's going to win that? The three candidates are Giannis, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Jokic. And all three of them are just phenomenal. All three of them are leading their teams to the playoffs. Jokic is currently tied with the Clippers 2-2. SGA and the Thunder just swept the Memphis Grizzlies 4-4. And Giannis is currently down 3-1 to Pacers, which is not good. But we all kind of know that the race right now is really just between SGA and Jokic. And as much as I do think Jokic is, I still believe that Jokic is the best player in the NBA. No doubt about that at all. I think he's the best overall player. But I think they give the award this year to SGA. It's his first time, and Jokic already has 3. I think SGA is honestly probably just the most valuable player, honestly, in the league. He's so versatile, but so is Jokic. But SGA, they're going to give it to him because, he's a better seeded team, helped lead his team through a very, very hard Western Conference. So I think that's one of the main reasons they gave it to him, because of how well he was able to, take the Thunder from, through the Western Conference. Very hefty, very hard conference. 1 seed by a mile. They were 10 games above the Rockets, who were 2nd seed, and they kind of just cakewalked through there. And that's why I believe they give SGA his first MVP, because of honestly how good he's been playing this year. Granted, he's a big foul baiter, people like to claim, but if he's on the line and he's scoring, he's scoring. So you can't really deny it. You can't hate that. And if he's scoring, he's scoring. So yeah, I think this year's Kia MVP goes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then we got Rookie of the Year. The 3 candidates right now: Stephon Castle of the Spurs, Zachary Richardson of the Atlanta Hawks, and Jaden Wells of the Memphis Grizzlies. Honestly, there's one person who would win it if he never get injured, and that was Jared McCain. If Jared McCain did not get injured, he 100%, and I say that, 100% would have won the Kia Rookie of the Year award, but he didn't. Unfortunately, he got injured. Brutal beat. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He played for about a month and a half and was averaging 20 points with Tyrese Maxey. Great combo players. It sucks that he got injured because he was going to win Rookie of the Year, but he got injured. So who's gonna win it now? I do believe it's going to be Stephon Castle. Richardson and Jaden Wells went to the playoffs, but I believe Stephon Castle really stepped up this year. When Wemby got hurt, Castle stepped up and said, okay, this is my team. Yeah, they got Chris Paul. They got a great team overall in San Antonio. But, Stephon Castle really stepped up. He was a great player for the Spurs this entire year, and that's why I think he is going to win Rookie of the Year. He just also has the best averages out of all those 3 in points and rebounds and assists. I believe he leads all 3 of them in that. So also he's the most valuable player. He contributed the most to his team compared to the other 2. They didn't, Richardson was a good player, 13-6 average and a block and a half a game. So that's a pretty good stat line. But Jaden Wells, he's not a horrible player whatsoever, but he just hasn't made an impact like Castle or Richardson has. But Castle's been the overall best player from this rookie draft class, behind Jared McCain. But winning Rookie of the Year, the Kia NBA Rookie of the Year, will be Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs. The DPOY has already been given out. The candidates were Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks, Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors, and then the winner was Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who was completely deserving of it. Evan Mobley has played phenomenal this whole year on both sides of the ball. But his defensive play, I mean, he won 2021 Rookie of the Year for a reason. In that stacked draft class, he had Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Franz Wagner. I mean, that draft class was phenomenal. And he won Rookie of the Year. Completely deserved it. I was really mad when Cade lost it. I was not happy. But, he won it. And he's proven to be a phenomenal player through the past few seasons, through their rebuilding era. They have made their way to the first seed in the Eastern Conference and kind of led by Mobley. I wouldn't say he leads the team, but he's in the defensive side. He's their anchor. He is their defensive wing, and he gets it done. He blocks, steals. I mean, he just does it all. And there's a reason he won DPOY, because of all of his, great play. MIP, the most improved player, Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons, Ivan Zubac of the LA Clippers, and then Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks. This one has not been given out yet. I don't believe it'll be Dyson Daniels. I do believe it'll be between Cade and Ivan. And I do believe that Zubac will win it. Unfortunately, I do want to say Cade will, but Cade never really fell off. Cade's been playing good his entire career, and he's just played that much better this year. But Zubac is just a phenomenal player. I don't know how to say his full name right, but Zubac has played phenomenal for the Clippers all year. He's one of the best centers in the league right now, and he's pairing up against Jokic and the Nuggets right now, and pairing up against them very well at that. He is just a phenomenal player. He is their big. He is the big. He's going to be their big for the next few years. There's no way they trade him away after the year he's been having, scoring, averaging double-doubles, just getting lots of blocks and rebounds for this team. I mean, he's kind of the anchor for this team. In the paint, he is, he's one of the, like I said, he's one of the best bigs in the league. I think he is a top 5 center in the league right now. And if he keeps playing like this for the rest of his career, he got traded from the Lakers to the Clippers, and he's completely, reinvented himself. He didn't play at all, very little in the Lakers. He came to on the Lakers, didn't play at all. Came to the Clippers, became a huge stepping stone, he took a huge step up, and has really proved himself to be one of the best players in the league, centers wise. Sixth man of the year, candidates were Malik Beasley, Peyton Pritchard, and Ty Jerome. Malik of the Pistons, Peyton Pritchard of the Celtics, and Ty Jerome of the Cleveland Cavs. The winner was Peyton Pritchard. I was heartbroken to see Malik Beasley lose. I think he really deserved it. I think he was averaging a lot more points, rebounds, and assists wise, but he was getting a lot more minutes than Peyton Pritchard. And when you compare the two, based off if they had the same amount of games played, Pritchard was the better player. But I think Malik kind of contributed more overall to the Pistons. I think he comes in, makes an immediate impact for the Pistons, plays phenomenal, and I know he's just a great player. He came in, shot phenomenal this entire year. Great player overall, and a great one of the best 3-point shooters in the league this year. And came off the bench most games, helped lead the team. But Peyton Pritchard deserved it though. Great player for the Celtics, really helped him step up, get that 2 seed. Great player overall. I think he completely deserved it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. There's a few more, but I'm not going to lie. I really got to go to the bathroom, so we're going to end the segment there. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're recapping the games from last night, preview the games for tonight, and then talk about the Giannis and the Bucks. We'll get to all that after the break.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Noel Jamber. I'm not sure how long that stream was black for, but sorry for the late return. I was doing something. In this segment, we're going to recap the games from last night, the 2 games. Next segment, we'll preview the 4 games for tonight. After that, end off by talking about Giannis and the Bucks. So, let's talk about the games for last night, which was Monday, April 28th. There's 2 games last night. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Miami Heat, and the Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. There really isn't much to say about the first game. Let's just say that. The Cleveland Cavaliers Miami Heat game was, it was a basketball game that was aired on TV and had fans of the game, where the players were dribbling the ball up the court and shooting the ball. I'm not really sure what to say. When you're down 76-33 at halftime, I don't really know how to, what do you even tell your players in the locker room at halftime? You're one of the greatest head coaches of all time, especially in the playoffs. You bring them into the locker room and you're down 40 points at halftime. What do you say to your team? Yeah, guys, go out there and give it our all. How do you hype your players up after that? I don't really know. I feel really bad, but the Cleveland Cavaliers they really went out there and proved why they were the 1 seed in the East last night. They dominated the whole series. It was absolute domination the entire series. 4-0 sweep. First time actually in Cavaliers history where they swept the team without LeBron James. That was their first ever in franchise history. They beat a team 4-0 without LeBron James being on their team. That breeze just really scared me. That's just nuts. They deserved to win. 100%. They were the best team. I was really persistent on the fact that I really thought that the Heat were gonna be a sleeper team. Maybe go in there, maybe beat the Cavaliers, but if not, win a game or 2, take it to 6. But I wasn't even close. And you got 4-0 swept. The first game, they lost by 20 the first game. And I was like, it was like a kind of like a field game. They're feeling it out. They're going to come back next game better. They lost by only 9 the second game. And then I continued to say, sorry about that. I continued to say, yeah, they got this. They can come back. And they lost again. And then yesterday I said, yeah, they're going to lose tonight. And not only did they lose last night, they lost in a landslide. It wasn't even, it was just phenomenal. They were outclassed that entire series. Mobley really was kind of proving why he was the defensive player of the year that series. He was just playing phenomenal. Getting a lot. He was just blocking. He was just doing everything a DPOY would be doing. A lot of blocks, good steals, great interior defense, letting nothing by. There was no easy buckets when he was there. He was there playing great interior defense and for his size, he's a great perimeter defender as well. So, congrats to the Cleveland Cavaliers on, getting their first ever franchise sweep without LeBron James and moving on to the Eastern Conference semis. Congrats to them. But before we get into the next one, take a little sip. Man, water's good. Oh man, I love me some water. The second game last night, there's only 2 games, but the Houston Rockets versus Golden State Warriors game last night was honestly one of the most, had one of the best endings you can honestly, hope for in a basketball game. It was fourth quarter, last 5 minutes of the entire fourth quarter was just phenomenal. That last 12 minutes, it was neck and neck the whole time. I think the largest, span of a point differential in that quarter was 5. Phenomenal ending. Phenomenal, just game in general. The final possession, the Rockets got a rebound with 18 seconds left. It was 11. I think it was 11 seconds left. They get the rebound, call a timeout. And they're forming up a play, come out of timeout. They have their play lined up. They have, I believe it's Jabari Smith inbounding it. And Jalen Green wraps around for the pass for the pass. He gets it. He feeds it because their plan was to get Sengun on whoever was going to guard him. So it was Draymond Green. Give it to Sengun, him back him down and just kind of post up, and that's what they had planned. It worked out. They had Sengun on. Draymond was on Sengun. They got it to Sengun at about the free throw line, maybe a little past that, and he started to back him down. And Draymond Green was showing why you don't want to play one-on-one with me. You're not going to win in the big boy battle. He managed to stop Sengun, and then Sengun went for a little post fade, and it bricked. He missed long, and Draymond was very hyped. Let's just say that. Draymond Green was very, very excited, and he was saying, I believe he was saying, you want to play, you put him on me. Like, he was like saying it mouthing it to the crowd. And I mean, the announcers, Reggie Miller was all over it. He was loving it. He was saying like, that's exactly what Draymond Green wanted. He wanted him to play one-on-one with him, and he was gonna lock him down. That's exactly what he did. Sengun had a good game though. Regardless of that, he had like a 26-point game, 25-point game, and he just missed in that last shot. But he missed it. Warriors got the ball, fouled with about 4 seconds left. Jimmy Butler came back. He was playing last night. Absolutely huge game for him. He dropped 27 points last night on his first game back after that injury. He comes back. He gets that final rebound. He gets fouled, goes to the free throw line while up 1, sinks them both, up 3. Fred VanVleet gets the ball with about 4 seconds left, drives down court, and he throws up a heaven shot he's at the wing, off 1 foot, throws it up. It actually looked like it was about to go in too. From the camera angle, you really thought it was about to go in, but it was an air ball. I mean, the ball looked like it was about to just fit right in the middle of that net, almost no net movement. And then it was an air ball. So I was really hyped. I was looking at it like, oh my God, that's going in. And it, in fact, did not go in, which, kind of sucked. But that OT game would have been amazing. An OT with that game would have been phenomenal. Would have fed families. But it was a great game. I mean, Golden State Warriors, the 7th seed, are now leading the series 3-1, heading back to Houston for this Game 5 tomorrow or on Thursday, whenever they play next. But it's going to be a great ending. I mean, I think Jimmy Butler being back is definitely a huge help for the Warriors. Because I didn't... At the... sorry about this. At the time when I was filming yesterday, Jimmy Butler was... I believe he announced he was playing. Like an ESPN notification came on midway through my stream. And at that point, I wasn't talking about the NBA. So I just didn't bring it up. But, I mean... He's a huge help. Jimmy Butler continues to prove why he's playoff Jimmy. That's what he is. He's playoff Jimmy Butler, and I mean that's it. That's all I can say about him. He's a phenomenal overall player. He's just a great. He's a great player. And in playoff time, he excels. He excels more than ever in playoff time. And he stepped up last night 27. I believe he had 5 rebounds and 9 assists or something like that. But I mean, playoff Jimmy's a different animal, different breed, phenomenal player, and if they win tomorrow night or Thursday night, I mean that's a huge boost of confidence to the team. If they win this series, I would 100% believe that they could make a playoff like a championship run like they did back in 22. No one believed in them. No one believes in them right now to make it to the final, at the start of when the playoffs were first announced. And now people are like, wait, this team is legit again. Can they make another run? And I believe they 100% can. If Jimmy Butler can stay healthy, they 100% will make another playoff run, making it back to the NBA Finals. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I 100% believe it could, and I would not be opposed to see that happen either. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we'll preview the games for tonight. After that, we'll talk about Giannis and the Bucks. What's going on over there with that team. But we'll get to that after the break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jammer. First 3 segments, we started off with the NFL Draft, finalized that. Last time, we're going to talk about that. The previous 2 segments, talk about the NBA. We previewed the games, or talk about the games from last night, and then talk about the NBA awards, who won what. This segment number 4, we're going to preview the games with NBA games for the night. And tonight, it's all Eastern Conference besides one. And every Eastern Conference series right now, except for the one that's over that was 4-0 swept, each game is 3-1. And, that's never fun to see. I don't like when every series is a 3-1 blowout. It's not fun. But we'll talk about it. So the first game, at 6 o'clock on NBA TV tonight, we got Giannis and the Bucks taking on Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. The Pacers have just dominated this entire series. Why am I yawning so much? I really don't know. I don't know why I'm yawning so much today. But, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers have shown why, they're a 4 seed. They are just playing so good this whole series. They've dominated the Bucks in every aspect of the game. Giannis, he's still playing phenomenal, but it doesn't matter that he's playing so good because of the fact that the Bucks team in general isn't, and the Pacers team is. The Bucks team isn't contributing enough to help Giannis succeed. And the Pacers, they're spreading out their playing time, their players very effectively, very efficiently, and they're winning games because of it. They are, all their players are playing well. They're all stepping up, and the Buck players aren't. Kyle Kuzma isn't playing good. Dame, unfortunately, just tore his ACL. And honestly, that could be the end for Dame's career. I 100% believe that. I think Dame, honestly, might just be done after this. He spent way too much time in Portland, came to Milwaukee looking to succeed, had that blood clot, very unfortunate, and came back for 2 games and tore his ACL, which is honestly just like the worst thing could happen. You're out for 2 months, and then and now he's out again for another at least 6 to 8, which is just absolutely brutal for him. So tonight, I think is going to be the series ending for the Pacers Bucks, where the Pacers will come out on top 4-1 and that series in 5. Honestly, at the start of that series, I really didn't know who I wanted to win, who I had winning. I believe I had the Pacers in 6. So I'm kind of right, but I wish the Bucks were just fully healthy the entire series, so it could have been evenly matched the whole time. But honestly, if the Bucks didn't win that game, that one game they had, that game 3, they Giannis wouldn't have won a playoff game for over 1,020 days, I believe is what it was. And that's kind of crazy. Giannis is one of the best players in the world, and he was on a 1,000-day losing streak in the playoffs. He got swept last year. He got swept in 2023 as well. Brutal, it really is. So, I'm glad he got that win and that drought, but it sucks that his time in Milwaukee is coming to an end after this series, most likely. At 7:30 on TNT/Max, HBO Max, whatever you want to call it, you got Pistons versus the Knicks. Back in New York, back in the Garden, and that series is also not tied. That series is also 3-1 in favor of New York. That series could 100% be 2-2 tied. Absolutely, it should be. You could say that for every series, but the Pistons have just not played the way they should be. First game, they let the Knicks go on a 21-0 run to win. They won the second game. Third game, third game was just, I don't know. It was just a weird game. Last game, they're holding the lead for most of the fourth quarter, and in the last few minutes, they just let it slip away, which is in typical Pistons fashion. and they last possession of the game, they have 11 seconds left. They have an inbound play, give Cade the ball. He hits a pull up from like about the free throw line, 15, 16 feet. Absolute bricks it. They get the loose ball foul. They get the loose ball somehow, and there's no foul called on that corner three by Tim Hardaway Jr. And when the refs after the game say, yeah, it was a foul, I mean, that's just absolutely just brutal that you lose on a missed call like that. These refs these days need to be held accountable, but they just never will, which is just horrible to think about. But this series tonight is most likely going to end as well. I think the Pistons just unfortunately just unmatched and they're just unmatched. They can't keep up with Karl-Anthony Towns and how he can shoot. I really don't like Karl-Anthony Towns. I really don't like. He's a great player. I just don't like watching him play though. I just think he just doesn't play. I just don't enjoy watching him play. I really don't. I just don't like the Knicks at all. But they're gonna win this series tonight, and honestly, I really hope they don't. I really hope the Pistons can somehow manage to come back down 3-1. But I don't know. This series is most likely gonna. If it doesn't end, if the Pistons win tonight, I don't know if the Pistons can hold on much longer or hold out, and I don't know how much energy they got left in the tank. I would love to see them, like I said, come back down 3-1. Is that possible? Yeah, I guess. And they won a game, so it is possible. But they just need to play the best basketball they can, and they need the Knicks to not play good, which is pretty hard considering how good the Knicks are. Third game tonight, 8:30 on NBA TV. Orlando Magic versus the Boston Celtics. This series is also tied not tied. This game is also a 3-1. Although I keep saying tied. It's also a 3-1 in favor of Boston, and that series is over tonight. This series is ending. It's in Boston. The Magic just aren't playing nearly as good as they should. And, they're not like the Magic weren't like, the best team, but they're a great defensive team, which I've been saying for so long, and that's still holding true. But the Celtics are just that much better of a team. There's outmatched them in every aspect, and the Magic just can't keep up. So the series tonight will end with the Boston Celtics win, moving on to the Eastern Conference semis with a 4-1 win in 5 games. The last game of the night, the best playoff series this honestly is probably one of the best playoff series in NBA history. I love, not ever, but as of recent, one of the best playoff series I have ever watched in my life, and that is, keep you on your toes with that water drink. I had to keep you in suspense. It's the Nuggets Clippers, tied at 2-2, back in Denver tonight for Game 5. I mean, this series is just absolutely phenomenal. Perfectly matched on both aspects. Bigs, Zubac versus Jokic, Harden versus Murray, Kawhi versus Aaron Gordon. I mean, just phenomenal. In every aspect, each player is evenly matched. Each matchup is just completely, just fair. There's no, outlier. There's no one person better than the other. Each of these players is phenomenal in their own aspect, and that's why this series is so good, because of how evenly matched they are. I mean, it's a 2-2 series, and there was one blowout, which was the game 3, when the Clippers just kind of manhandled the Nuggets by 30 points. James Harden went electric that game, and the Nuggets win last game was absolutely phenomenal with a dunk, with the Jokic missed buzzer beater 3, but Gordon still had enough time to get it, predict where the ball was going to go, jump up, and dunk it with 0.2 seconds left. Absolutely phenomenal end to that game. But, I mean, this series is just literally there's no other way to say it rather than it's one of the best series in basketball that we've seen in a while. Playoff series in basketball. It's just so evenly matched. These players love playing against each other. I wouldn't say love, but the series is just so evenly matched. The fans love it because of how close it is. The NBA is loving it because of how close it is. They're posting about it so much. And this series is just overall just so good. It's just such a good series in general. And the best series in the NBA right now. I mean, there's literally nothing more I can say about that. No other 2-2 series every game feels like Game 7. It's just so close and so evenly matched that it feels like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And that's all I can say about that. It's just phenomenal on every aspect. In every aspect of the game, it is perfect. It is the perfect series for an NBA fan to watch, enjoy, and love. And that's why I think it's perfect. It's got perfect amount of intensity. The matchups are just exactly as you want it to be, just perfectly matched up against each other. Like each player matched up is just the perfect size, weight, skill levels are the person they're playing against, and that's why I think it's the best. It's just the right way. It's the perfect amount of everything blended into one, and you're watching the holy trinity of basketball games, which is the Nuggets, LA Clippers 2025 Western Conference first round. It's phenomenal. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment and final segment, we're talking about Giannis and the Bucks. Talk about what's going on over there in Milwaukee. We'll get to that after the break. Welcome back to the GSMC Devil Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamber. First segment, we recap the NFL Draft. Kind of did one final recap on that. This previous segments, we've talked about the NBA only, NBA awards, preview the games for tonight, recap games from last night. Finally, segment 5, we're talking about what's next for Giannis and the Bucks. Sorry, my throat kind of hurts. I feel like, I don't know. It kind of hurts. Weird. All right. Giannis and the Bucks. Like I said, they currently are down 3-0 to the Indiana Pacers. Or 3-1, sorry. To the Indiana Pacers. And if they lose tonight, series is over. And I do believe that if they lose tonight and they lose this series in general, which they will, I do believe that, Giannis is out. I think Giannis has been on the Bucks for his entire career. He's been nowhere else but Milwaukee. And he got his NBA championship in 2022. He got his MVP as well. He got 2 MVPs actually. But is he going to stay in Milwaukee after this season? I really don't think so. I think his time in Milwaukee is finally coming to a close. And I think that because this past few years in the playoffs, he has had little to no success. He hasn't won. He hasn't gotten out of the first round. He's not winning games. His team just isn't what it used to be back in 2021, 22, and they won the playoffs. Or won the championship. I mean, he tried to bring in people. That happened with Damian Lillard. He brought him in 2 years ago or last year. Dame plays good in the regular season. Come playoff time, he kind of fell off. Dame gets a blood clot mid-season this year. I think it was like January. He's been out since January, February, whenever that blood clot came in. And he comes back for the playoffs for 2 games. He puts up 18 points the first game in his return, and then tears his ACL in game 2. Ooh, excuse me. Wow. Absolutely horrible. And I do believe that Dame's going to retire now. I do think Dame's time is in the NBA is over. I think he should retire. I think he's been in the league for a while now. And should he retire? I mean, I personally think he should, but I don't think he will. I think he's still got more in the tank. But I just don't want him to get, more injured. I don't want him to, ruin his life because he loves basketball so much. He never wanted to run from the hustle. He didn't leave Portland because he loved the people, he loved his team, but he didn't want to run from the grind. He just wanted to keep playing there. And he had I mean, he never made it really far in the playoffs. He never, won anything big, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, he's out. Giannis brought him in. And now what's left for Giannis? He's got nothing left to prove in Milwaukee. He's Milwaukee's scoring champion all time. So where will he go? I think that his ideal landing spot for Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be the New York Nets. Not the Knicks. The Brooklyn. Why did I say New York? Brooklyn Nets. I don't know why. I don't know why I said the New York Nets. That was really weird. But the Brooklyn Nets are going to be home for Giannis this offseason. And why do I think that? Because, my back. Because he has homes in Brooklyn. That's why. I think he wants to go to Brooklyn because of his real estate in Brooklyn. He has businesses in Brooklyn that, he wants to be closer to. Right now he has family running them and friends. But I think he wants to go back to Brooklyn. And he wants to be there with his, his businesses, his homes that he sells out, all that stuff. I think he wants to be where he can just kind of, after his career is over, he can just live. And I think he wants to end up living in New York or Brooklyn. And that's why I do believe he wants to go there. I think he's going to end his career there. But I also think he just kind of wants to get out of Milwaukee. He's been there, like I said, his entire career. He was drafted 2012, I believe, 2014, some in the early 2010s. Is that light bright? I can't really tell. It looked really bright on my screen. Hey, I'm going to open these blinds. The sun just came out of nowhere all of a sudden. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I think he's going to end his career. I think his career in Milwaukee is over, though. I think he's done. He's been there his entire career. He's went through a lot of head coaching changes. He's now being coached by Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, which is, I'm not going to say they're interesting head coaches. I mean, a lot of NBA fans tend to hate, discredit them as coaches because they're both not. I mean, honestly, they're not the best coaches, and both of them leading the Milwaukee Bucks is just kind of interesting. I mean, without Giannis, the Bucks would just be terrible. I mean, straight up, they'd just be a really bad team, and they try to bring in people this year. They traded Kyle Kuzma for Chris Middleton, which I still think is insane. Chris Middleton was one of the best players in the Bucks, not only during that championship run they had, but he was still playing good basketball. And they got him for Kyle Kuzma, who they thought could, replace Chris Middleton, but he in fact couldn't and didn't. He just hasn't done anything, I guess you could say productive for the team. He didn't help them out. He hasn't done much in the playoffs, and honestly, Giannis' time in Milwaukee is just coming to an end. I mean, that's just really the truth. His time is coming to an end. He's been there his whole career, and he's got nothing left to prove. I mean, he's already surpassed Kareem for the Bucks all-time scoring leader. He brought him a championship in 22. He's won MVPs. I mean, he's got what it takes. I think people can make an argument that he's a Hall of Famer. Is he? Most likely, yeah. He's most likely going to be a Hall of Famer. I'll be surprised if he doesn't make it. I mean, he's a great player. One of the first, I think he was probably the third or fourth out-of-country player that's not American to win. MVP, Hakeem, Steve Nash, Jokic, Giannis. I mean, those are some of the only, foreign players to win the MVP, and he's one of those 4 or 5 now. And he's a great player still. He's still a phenomenal player. He's still got more left in the tank. I just think he wants out of Milwaukee. I think he sees himself somewhere else. But where else could he go? I mean, obviously he could go to the Knicks, but if he were to go for the Knicks, they'd have to give up a lot. They'd probably want, Karl Anthony Towns to return, probably Josh Hart as well. I mean, who knows? But I mean, any team in the league would be lucky to get Giannis. Giannis is a phenomenal player. Great two-way player, great offensive mind, great defensive player. I mean, he's really kind of, yeah. Well, I don't even know. He's a player you want on your team. He's a good guy. You guys kind of troll a lot though, which a lot of players in the league can find him really childish because of how he acts. Which you can agree, you can watch him and kind of agree on, but I mean, overall, he's still one of the best players in the NBA. He's an MVP finalist this year for a reason. You don't get that for nothing. I mean, he's a phenomenal player overall. He's got what it takes to bring, glory to whatever team he goes to. Even if he goes, unless he went to Charlotte, I still think Charlotte would still be horrible. But, a lot of teams want him. Obviously, the Nets, the Knicks probably would want him because the Knicks want every big name player in the world. But, he can go anywhere. Portland, maybe he'll go to Portland. Who knows? But a lot of teams, every team in the league can utilize him. But maybe the Pistons. Wouldn't be mad if he went to the Pistons. Him and Malik Beasley pairing up again. Wouldn't be mad about that. But like I said, Giannis' time in Milwaukee is coming to a close. He's been there his whole career. He's given everything he's got his entire career. He's brought them a championship, MVPs. And he's got nothing left to prove in Milwaukee. Besides the fact that he's Milwaukee's greatest player. Stat-wise, he's Milwaukee's greatest player ever. But, if he wants to pass Kareem, I think he still needs another championship or two there to kind of pass him as the all-time Milwaukee great. But he already has more points than him, so, who knows. But, yeah, Giannis is most likely going to leave. Where he'll end up, who knows. Most likely, I think the Nets. But only time will tell. And, if they lose this series, he's 100% done. If he manages to, come back down 3-1, beat the Pacers, and make it somehow to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think he might stay for another year. Because his contract is big. I don't know if the Bucks want to pay that out. And some teams might be willing to pay for a big contract such as Giannis. So, only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But if he doesn't end up leaving, I think he will be a Brooklyn Net. That's all I got for you, the folks, today. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. Your continued support really means the world to us, so feel free to like, comment, and share with anybody. If you want to stay up to date with all things GSMC, make sure to follow us on all of our social media, with being, X/Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, anything. If you're on social media, so just search up GSMC and we're on it. Make sure to hit us with a follow so you can stay up to date with all things GSMC. That being said, thank you for tuning in today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good one.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't